Everybody, welcome into Gem Discoveries by Gemstones.com. I'm Tom Joyce. This is Preston.
What's up?
Graduate gemologist here. Preston's a gemologist in his own right, so we kind of like to just pick out exciting stones that we have in our inventory here in the building, and we just got done with inventory over the weekend.
How was that?
Nightmare, as it always is. But we always find stuff that we didn't know we
That's
had
the
or
upside.
remember.
Something went under a desk, you know.
Yeah, you
Oh,
never
look at
know.
that.
Shaking shoes out. That's what I always say. Take off your socks, turn over the shoes. We're going to find everything. Today, since tomorrow, if you're in America or, I don't know, an America lover, it's 4th of July, Independence Day.
Woo.
So today we're going to celebrate American gemstones. I was telling Preston right before this, I was on the phone with someone that we're working to get their product in here, and it's going to be beyond exciting.
Yeah.
Androdite garnets, it's all from Arizona. Some of it goes into California. There's some spessartine from California, and I believe some kunzite, but really, really exciting. I'm always excited about American stones because, like I've said before, it goes from Maine to California. So you just got to do a little bit of a dance, especially tourmaline, Maine to California. You can find it everywhere. But everything that we have in the show is American, either mined or I'm going to say harvested, because the copper, you know, float copper, you just kind of pick it up.
Yeah,
Not really mining for that. But let's jump right in. The first thing that we have on here, ooh, come on, you got to come back for a second,
Transitions
Shane.
out. Look at that.
Look at this here. Look at that.
Can we get an eagle sound in next time?
This is almost, don't let this background fool you. We are not show hosts. That was almost the most professional thing that's happened on this
That's
show.
really cool. That's the highlight of my day.
And I
Oh my
promise
gosh.
I will negate every bit of that professionalism as we continue on here. So this very first one that we have is Herkimer quartz.
Super clean. Look
What is the misnomer that we talked about? We'll address it.
Okay. Commonly known as Herkimer diamonds.
Commonly known. Not a diamond. It is quartz material, but when you see the sparkle on these stones, which as Shane was focusing in to get the nice shot that you see, you did see a lot of sparkle off
Yeah.
this. There's a reason that they call them Herkimer diamonds. Not really something that we call. It is a trade name. We had even talked about, not far from us, there is a lake, Douglas Lake, where you can go out there after it rains, well, when the water's down, obviously. When it rains on a nice sunny day, you can see that sparkle coming off the lake bed. And then you can go out there and harvest quartz yourself. But they call them Douglas diamonds as well because of that sparkle.
You can kind of see why, like other reasons too, the luster on these stones is just absolutely phenomenal. Like you were saying, the sparkle, and they're actually super clean. That's one of the main things that I remember about Herkimer, is how free of inclusions they are.
Yeah, very much so. These are really, really nice stones. And, you know, I like getting raw stones because you get to see how it grows.
Yeah.
Follow the shape of the crystal and see what kind of point really comes out at it. So I'm watching everything on jtv.com/extra. So if you're out there, like I see Dan is out there, happy 4th to you too, Dan. I'm a big fan of USA Stones. So say hi to us. You know, we're
absolutely.
glad to talk to you, answer any questions that you might have about any of this material that we're going to show. So the Herkimer material comes from New York. I believe it's upstate New York. I'm not 100%
yeah.
sure. Now, this is probably older material because, you know, mines do close from time to time. It could be from anything from it being mined out to a dangerous mining situation. There's all kinds of reasons why a mine could close. But this one, right now, I don't believe that there's any mining activity going on at the mine.
Okay.
I know that there are some people who might be sneaking in themselves with shovels. Do not recommend.
Some ski masks and flashlights.
Yeah, if there are parking lots nearby, you can always pick up tailing piles from parking lots. Don't be in any of these places. It's not worth it. Like, let the gemstones that are out there be something that you can appreciate and love. But these are really nice. It's a set of two. It's $25 for the set of two. They are very, very clean stones.
Yes.
Not something you commonly see with a lot of the Herkimer material that you'll see out at just general trade shows, local rock and gem shows. a lot of the stuff that you'll see there is a little bit more included. And nothing wrong with that because I love inclusions in gemstones. It's one of the most exciting things about gems to me because a lot of them are identifying inclusions.
Yes.
So always chasing that stuff down because I want to see what it has to offer. So we'll get the Herkimers off here and then move on to one of the funnest stones, I think, just unique and fun to talk about. But Anthill Garnet.
Oh boy.
It's a chrome pyrope. And the great thing about Anthill Garnet is it's not just a catchy name, really. Ants really bring these to the surface.
Literal.
Yeah, that's how you find it. So this is a 4.5 millimeter stone. So they're generally smaller stones. You can get some bigger ones, but the saturation is kind of too much, and they'll be cut really thin because the crystal will be so dark that they just have to shallow, like flatten it out some. So you'll have a bigger spread. You might have a bigger spread, but the carat weight just won't be there.
Man, ants are strong.
Yeah, they really are.
Carry that up.
Yes. And since I'm watching on Extra, if anyone's out there watching on Extra, the great thing about it, shoppability. So if you just go over to jtv.com/extra, this is why I don't generally give a price or item number or anything because it's all built in. It's got everything below me is in the show. And a little thumbnail will pop up. You can click that thumbnail and it will take you right to the landing page of that product. So then you can just purchase straight from there. It's easy to, no item number needed, the price is right there. And then there's also a little shop button down at the bottom and it'll show you everything that I have in the show in case you just want to go do
See
something
that
else.
later, yeah.
It's the 4th.
Yep.
I mean, I hope someone's going to the pool. I might meet you there.
I might be there today.
Yeah,
Yes.
I got heat treated this weekend. It was worth
Oh,
every second
geez.
of it.
Well, you didn't change color too much.
We're just calling it surface diffusion.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just real minimal, just surface level. But enough about this. Anthill Garnet.
But Tom was mentioning over there on JTV Extra, I'm monitoring YouTube, so if you have any questions, ask it in the YouTube, and also go in the description of the YouTube live, and you can get to the Extra broadcast with everything he was just talking about.
Yeah, and we're trying to watch on all angles. Unfortunately, this kind of streams out multiple places, so if we don't answer your question while it's happening, we generally will go back in afterwards and try and answer everything that people wanted to know because it's important to us to give out all the information that you want. This is
Absolutely.
a learning experience.
So fun.
It's infotainment. So on this Anthill Garnet, like I said, this is a 4.5 millimeter round. It's 30 points. So I know last week on the show I had mentioned something being points, and it was asked what that means. So in the trade or in the industry, there's 100 points in a carat. So anything below, it's easy to say a half carat, quarter carat. Anything that's not really that under a carat, you just say it's 0.46 or a 46 pointer. It's so much easier to say that than really.
Makes you sound really cool too.
Yeah, it kind of confuses
It's
people,
just-
but working on
it's
trying
60
to sound
points,
cool. Yeah, 60 pointer, obviously. Standard. So with this one, a 30 pointer, which yes, that is small. It's under a half a carat. For an Anthill Garnet, it's a decent size. It's not abnormal. And the one thing that is to be said about a lot of Anthill Garnets, because they are so small, it costs more to cut a small stone. So it's almost precision cutting, almost machine cutting. You'll see some free form like hand lapidaris that'll work, but a lot of times these have the best cuts that you can get. And this being Arizona material, it really is just, I can't wait for people to see this material we're getting from Arizona.
Yeah, I'm
it's going to
excited.
be really exciting because it's really nice when people are passionate about rocks the same way you are.
Yeah.
And I really want it from everyone I deal with. So source it from who I sell it to, anything. I want them to love the gems as much as I do because they really mean a lot to me. I wouldn't do all this if I didn't love all of it.
No. Laura asks, do Anthill Garnets originate from a specific place or all across the country? Do they come from any other places that you know of?
I don't believe so. I think most Anthill Garnet is from Arizona.
Some strong ants in Arizona.
Yeah, I mean, don't mess with ants.
No.
That not Arizona ants. Like I could see it in other places, but not these ones. And yes, Shane, you are correct. I believe that does come from the Navajo reservation. So that's kind of the thing is like some of this stuff that's on tribal lands, it's almost impossible to get out unless you're getting it from people who live there, which is a really big deal. So a lot of this stuff, I mean, you really wouldn't see if you didn't have great relationships with people who are passionate about the product.
Yeah.
And on this anthill garnet, they do have the same typical inclusions that a garnet would have, like the rounded crystals and intersecting needles. So that's a great thing about garnet that I love so much. It's pleasing to the eye. It comes in so many colors. But then if you have a nice loop or a microscope, everything on the inside is even better than what is presented on the outside.
Yeah.
Because I could spend all day long looking at garnet inclusions. It's really fun.
It is really cool seeing those intersecting needles. As soon as, like, if you see a stone of that color, you get really close, you see just needles just doing that
Yeah.
all over. It's amazing.
Yeah, and they really do pack a punch.
They
Like
do.
even a stone this small, like this would be a really nice 3-stone ring. And at the price, you know, this is under $15 for
Oh,
one
wow.
stone. So you could make a 3-stone ring out of this easily, or you can just add to a collection of something being extremely unique and being from the United States. That's I'm kind of a locale collector. Like I like to get stuff from everywhere, and that's why fluorite is so great because it occurs so many places, but two of the highest quality ones
Yeah.
are here in the United States, like Middle Tennessee and Illinois. So can't beat it at all. But we're going to stay in Arizona for the next stone too,
Okay.
because this is one that I think everyone enjoys peridot. I enjoy
I love it.
peridot. It really has great color, really good inclusions, because like everything, Tom loves inclusions. But Arizona peridot just, that
It's just
yellowish
an
green, it's
amazing,
so nice.
like, neon, almost toxic looking green. It's amazing. It jumps out at you as soon as you see it.
Yeah, and these are a carat 40 total weight. So the two stones, it's probably about 70 points a piece, and they're 6mm rounds. So you will get both of them. And this is another excellent price one. This is under $20 for a pair of peridot. Pair of peridot. Yeah, I like it. I like the way it sounds. A matched peridot. So, and these are big size. You know, 6mm is a really large size. Probably kind of the standard average size that you'll see a lot of times. And the color on these is just great. I really like these.
You know, a story we like saying on the YouTube channel all the time is that Cleopatra loved emerald. She collected tons of emerald, but emerald's not actually really found anywhere near Egypt in mass quantities, but
No.
what there is peridot.
Peridot,
So
yeah.
it's said that a lot of Cleopatra's emerald is peridot.
Yeah, and you know, that's kind of the thing. That's where a good gemologist comes in. I guess she didn't have one. It probably would have benefited her to have a gemologist on staff, because they'll tell you, that ain't emerald. I don't know what you paid for this.
She would have
But you
probably
paid-
been like, I'm the queen. That's
Yeah.
emerald. Whatever the other thing is, that's peridot.
Yeah, we would have gave it like a great name like Cleopatra Night or something. Just
Exactly.
really, you know, kiss up. Really just try and show your loyalty. Like, I'm here for you. We're doing this for you, but it's not emerald. I got to tell you. That's what gemologists are for. Court jesters, and I got bad news for you, bro. I always tell people, I can't always tell you what you have, but I can tell you what you don't have.
Exactly.
Because that's more important sometimes when someone comes in and wants you to look at something and they're like, oh, this was passed down from my grandma. They told me it was this. And you have to be like, yeah,
Well,
it's
oh,
beautiful.
that's difficult
Yep, that's the most
sometimes.
important thing. It's an heirloom. Pass it on to your child.
Granny
and
loved
now it's
this. It was her favorite emerald.
Yeah, exactly. So, and to what Preston had said, this is often referred to as the evening emerald because in low light situations, it looks really great. It sparkles just the same. You don't need a ton of light for this to look really good when you're wearing it out. So it's something that you can wear in the evening and it will transition great if you're at work. It's going to match a lot of your outfits. It's really subtle. It's got a nice springtime and warm color to it. And then right when you go out at night, you don't have to worry about changing it, anything. It's all right there for you.
Yeah.
And peridot is a little bit of a harder stone. Like, it's tougher. You're not going to have to worry about breaking it if you have it in a ring. I'm getting a call. Jay, we're not going to talk on air right now. It'll have to wait. I apologize. So we have a couple more that we're going to look at. And the next one that I have, I'm actually really excited about because my wife is a big rock hounder. I'm a gemstone person. I like finished gemstones.
Me too.
But my wife really enjoys rock hounding. So whenever we plan out a vacation somewhere, there's two things that are involved in our vacation plan. Well, three things: concert, disc golf, rock hounding.
Shovels.
Those are the three things
Shovels
that
and
we do.
buckets.
Yes. So we really had a great time. We went to Oregon, and there's a great area up there called the Bureau of Land Management Sunstone Collection Area. And it's right in between two mines. I've talked about this on shows before. And you can just go out, and the floor is just littered with feldspar. So you can pick stuff up. It's amazing. So I brought in two pieces of my Oregon Sunstone just so people can see the kind of things that you can collect. And this one's really great because it's got that really nice, and I took pictures of them so they could be seen, but that really nice copper on the inside of it, which is really, you know, what makes sunstone sunstone.
Awesome color band just right there.
Right in the center, and you can really see it there on the end. So I had two pieces. I lucked out. These are from the Spectrum mine, which when you go to the Sunstone Public Collection area, it's like the Dust Devil mine, the collection area, and then the Spectrum mine is on the other side. So we just decided to go over there because they have open pits that you can go in and just kind of look around in. But there were some people, we were there, it was really hot, and they had to abandon their pile that they bought. And they asked us, do you guys want to finish it? No money. And we went through, it was super messy. And one of the guys walked by and said, it's going to be a good year for Sunstone. We've already found 2 scorpions today. And I was just like, I want to leave. I don't want to do this anymore. So Oregon Sunstone is just something that, it comes in all kinds of colors. Bicolor, orange, yellow, green. You'll even see some blues in it. But really what is making it Sunstone is there's little copper platelets inside of it. That's what sets it apart from just regular feldspar.
We were
or labradorite.
talking about how cool inclusions are. These are really cool to get up close and personal with. If you have a microscope of any kind, you just see plates of copper and they will shimmer at you.
Yeah, yeah. It really is something that as you rotate it, you'll really see it pop out when the light hits it. You'll just kind of see a cascade of just these little random copper platelets all over the place. We actually have a Sunstone parcel. It's cabochons in inventory right now, and it's from Tanzania, and those are the best ones that you can look at for those copper platelets because they're just everywhere and it's scattered all across. So something that mimics this is like goldstone glass.
Yes.
Because goldstone glass, always opaque, it's never transparent like a sunstone is, but goldstone glass has small little triangular, like perfect triangles. That's how you can identify it from a sunstone.
The whole stone is comprised of those.
Yeah.
Here we've got gem material, but you see the inclusions in there. It's not made up of the copper platelets.
Now this one is listed as a bicolor, and it's something where when you do, when you're qualifying something like you would a bicolor sunstone, it doesn't always jump out at you. Like ametrine jumps out at you when you see the bicolor.
Yeah.
Some of these ones are just a little more subtle. So I think when it's turning, it's easier to see it when it's on the white disc, because you can see the orange in it, like the peachy colors, and then right in the center is that green.
Yeah, and
So
it makes sense when you see like the rough piece that Tom has.
Yeah.
Just imagine they took, that left side of the stone, they chopped it off and faceted it. You got a little bit of that orange coloration in there, and the rest of it's the other body color.
Yeah, and it really is up to the cutter to determine how he's going to make that blend. One of the coolest stones I've ever seen, we had these years and years and years ago. It was from our very first President's Collection that we bought. they were called party tourmalines.
Ooh.
So when you looked at it, it was face up like pink or blue or green. And then when you turned it on its side, it was completely colorless. And you were just like, how is this happening? Like, it was hard to wrap your mind around it. Well, all of the color was concentrated into the QLED. So they
Wow.
just cut around that, and face up, it became that color.
That's ingenious.
So I was just blown away by them, and I really wish I would have bought one. Didn't buy one, and they've never come back. Like, perfect stones never get returned.
Yeah.
The one you hope gets returned never gets
Nope.
returned. So, not surprising at all. So with this spinning around, like, I really like the Oregon Sunstones. Oregon Sunstone comes in all kinds of colors, and it really is. If you go out to where these are mined, they're not mined in easily accessible places. Main tourmaline, the mine, the access road to get to it is maybe a mile off of a bigger road. Like, it's
Yeah,
easy.
yeah.
But the hike to it is about 4 miles.
Oh, it's got to be
Now,
remote.
this one was the middle of nowhere. Like, gravel road to gravel road, take a spare tire, you have no cell service.
Bring a map.
So these come from very harsh areas. So we're really lucky to have all of this material, to have it in our inventory, that it gets faceted and comes out. So any American gem, a lot of hard work goes into getting it to market.
Yeah.
Because Montana Sapphire is another one that the area right below the mine floods all the time. So you have to wait for that to dry out and then start again. But the interesting thing with that is a lot of Montana Sapphire is alluvial. So once it just rolls down a hill and goes into a riverbed,
You just find it on
curve
the
of the
curves.
river is where you find it. So when that floods, with it being alluvial, they decided that when it dries out, they're going down and taking core samples and finding alluvial diamonds that have settled
That's
after
really
the
cool.
flooding. So it really is. These miners are smart people to keep bringing the product out. And we have one last thing. So we've kind of been all over. West Coast a bit. We were in New York. So we do have one from the middle of the country. Like, I would really like to start getting in, like, things from Arkansas. If we could get a couple of Arkansas diamonds, that would be
Yeah,
unique.
that would be really cool.
Wavelite comes from Arkansas, not gem material. I'm trying to think of, like, gem material. You'll sometimes have gem material from North Carolina. There have been some nice faceted and star rubies come
good
from
corundum,
North Carolina. Oh yeah, that is a good point. I actually have Arkansas turquoise at my desk. So got to make
Interesting.
that sellable and get that out there. So it does come from everywhere. Like, this is a mineral and gem rich country. We always think of other countries because of the abundance that has it.
Yeah.
And you know, this is America. We're going to shake our fist. Get out of my backyard with that shovel. These are my rocks. I'll do what I want with them. You're not coming to get them. That is the main America.
Oh, yeah, there
there
we
it
go.
goes. The flag. So that just sums up Tom's rant about why you don't see a lot of gem material come out. And when you really think about it, we talked about it before, Ant Hill Garnet and Arizona Peridot both come from tribal land. So that's another one that is just hidden. If you think about Nevada, a gem-rich area and mineral-rich area, I would say a huge percentage of it is owned by Bureau of Land Management. It's not public land for anyone to go mine on. So some of these places are probably holding huge pockets of gem material.
Well, the
And we
Wawa
just-
Mountains.
Yeah, the
It's
Wawa
red,
West.
Red. That was a good one.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, thank you, Shane. So the last one we've got is from Michigan. So this is Michigan float copper.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and Michigan float copper is a pretty cool thing when you think about it, because I believe, and you might know, Shane might know, always in the ear, like, it literally is floating on top of rocks. So I think that's how they find it, is water lifts it, it carries it. Yeah, I think it's, yeah. Yeah, I believe it's all from glacial movement. And, you know, Michigan is another state, and we'll say, oh, Sean is dropping the American flags in the chat
There we
over here
go.
on Extra. See, that flag, I like the choice, Shane. We support it, 100%. But Michigan and the Great Lakes area is another one that is really rock heavy and really just, I don't want to say gem rich because it's not gem rich,
Yeah.
but you find a lot of nice agates. Michigan has Petoskey stone, which I believe is a fossilized coral What was that one? Oh, Euperite. Yeah,
Euperite or Euperlite?
I think it's light.
Light.
Yeah. So that one is like, it fluoresces really strong. So
Yeah.
that's a good one that if you go out hunting for it.
Orange, I think.
Yeah, like an orangey pink.
Yeah, I saw some people on a tour there, just on the shore at night. They were just
Yep.
UV scanning the beach there, and it just pops out.
But like everything, because these are on the beach, do your research before you go. Some of this stuff might not be allowed to be taken with you.
Yeah.
Lake Michigan rocks are really good. Like if you go to Wisconsin, you're allowed to take and, harvest, as I'll say, a certain amount of Lake Michigan rocks every year.
Okay.
So you're not really going to have a problem with that. But when you go to Michigan, Petoskey stone might be a protected stone now. Euperlite might be a protected stone.
That's a good point.
Because that's the big thing. If you follow any of the bigger industry news, there's a big thing going on right now for people to keep their mineral rights.
Yeah.
And that's a really big deal. So always do your research, find out what you can take and what you can't. It's almost like going to a state park. You just can't pick up rocks off state parks.
Yo, you can't?
No, you're not supposed to. They're not yours, they're all of ours. So keep our state parks, state parkly, national parks, keep them beautiful because they're here for everybody to enjoy. And just like these rocks and stones that we showed today, you can get one of these home. Just go to jtv.com, jadora.com. If you go to jtv.com/extra, all the links are there. Lots of shoppability. So next Sunday, we're going to do a ruby show because that is the birthstone. And I'm going to do a stone type, or a stone that has every type of treatment. So you can see the difference, the cost
Interesting.
difference, what it does to the stone, how it lightens it up, because there are no bad treatments, just makes things more affordable.
Some treatments are really cool to get into.
Yeah, and really everything that they're doing to treat the stone is just to make it look prettier.
Yep.
So we're going to do that, and then next Monday, we showed you the demantoid specimens last week. Seemed like everybody liked them a lot because a lot of them went out the door really fast. Well, next week we're going to do the faceted Madagascar demantoid, and that'll be really exciting. So make sure you tune back in, JTV_Tom Joyce on Instagram. I'm also on Facebook at JTV Tom Joyce. I'm kind of all over the place. If you want to find me, you can find me. Message to let us know what you want to do or what you want us to do on future shows, and we'll be more than happy to do it. And also look for Preston on TikTok when we're doing kind of sneak previews of this stuff. But thanks so much for tuning in. We really appreciate it.
See ya.